Hello, and welcome to cEDH Brasil. I'm Tim, and tonight I'm joined by my dear friends Deco and Sean. How you doing tonight, Deco?
Hey, I'm glad to be here with you guys. It's a pleasure. How are
tonight?
yourselves?
I'm good, and how are you, Sean?
Swell.
Well,
A little warm, but went into the pool today to cool off, and it was like 65. So, yeah.
Awesome.
yeah. So we actually just kind of brought you on just to kind of catch up. It's been a while. I know you got a couple of things going on with your stream, so for those of you who don't know Deco is one of the members of cEDH Brasil. It's a stream group. They stream on Twitch, I believe, 3 days a week?
Twice a week.
Twice a week?
On Tuesdays and Fridays.
2 days
at
and Friday.
8 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah. At twitch.tv/cEDH_Brasil. And I will put that in the show notes below. And one of the other things that you kind of had going on that we were kind of chatting about is you said that you guys are organizing a budget, Brazilian budget, like commander tournament, right?
Yes, exactly. So basically what happened is we were watching a friend streamer, and he organized this 150 Brazilian reais tournament, which is about $30.
Okay.
And so it was a $30 EDH tournament, and he managed to get 70 plus players on his tournament. And I was like, hey, this guy's doing it. Why shouldn't we?
Yeah.
Why shouldn't we? Yeah. But on the other hand, we are cEDH content creator, but on the other hand, it's kind of hard to get people to play cEDH on here in Brazil, because people are not like that used to use proxies and stuff, or to play through a webcam, which right now we understand people are willing to play through webcam. Proxies is another subject.
Mm-hmm.
And we wanted this tournament to be like inclusive. So we reached out for this streamer. His name is Bruno, but his string is Markovis. Pretty much Markov with IS in the end.
Okay.
And we reached out for him and say, hey, after you're done with your tournament, let's schedule another one, but let's increase budget a little bit to about $100, 500 Brazilian reais. And let's see if we can get like this thing going and be like a huge community event. Because he organized one tournament, we were organizing cEDH tournaments, and we already had like this tool to organize tournaments that we were testing, and it was on development for like more than 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
And we reached out for him, say, hey, we have this tool, we have some public that's willing to play cEDH, but they maybe would like to play budget cEDH as well. And we just like got into conversations and we put it off. We started advertising it. People were like into it. People were asking, hey, when it's gonna happen? When this is gonna happen? And we released like a pre-subscription form where people would like just give their names and contact information and saying that they are willing to play the tournament.
Right.
And in this form, we got by the last days of the form, we got like almost 300 people saying they were interested in participating.
That's incredible.
And from these 300 people, we got 220 that built their decks and sent their list. We approved their list because it's a budget event, so we had to approve each list.
Okay.
And this tool that we have, it can be done for like, I don't know if there's a limit, but it can be done for this group of players, this number of players. and we are doing it. We actually started this week, and things are going pretty well.
And the overall structure, at least from what you were telling me, was that it's kind of like a league format where like you announce the pods for the week. They have 7 days to schedule it amongst themselves, play it, and then report the results. And then next week you'll do the next Swiss, and kind of that same thing will happen. You're doing that over the course of 4 weeks, right?
So we'll play like the tournament structure is 5 rounds of Swiss.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not true Swiss, but it's a very close adaptation that we developed for in this tool.
Okay.
When I say we, it's not cEDH Brasil. It's a friend of mine, and he's intending to launch this tool pretty soon. So it will be available.
Okay.
And so basically at Monday mornings we release the round, and players, they have to talk to each other, organize when is the best date for them to play, check out with everyone's availability, and they have until Sunday afternoon to send us the results.
Okay.
So they have to play and they have to send us the results. We have some judges available in the Discord server.
Mm-hmm.
So most of the games are being played at night because people work during the day. And we have the judges available to the games. If anyone needs to call a judge, it's regular REL, so we're not like doing the competitive REL. It's pretty like Friday Night Magic kind of judging. I mean,
it's competitive, but kind of friendly competitive, casual.
Yeah, it's exactly. Mainly because we have like lots of casual players in the tournament, so we want it to be a good experience for everyone.
Right.
And that's pretty much it. They have to send us the results until Sunday afternoon.
Okay.
On Sunday evening, we calculate everything. It's pretty quick, pretty fast, not manually. And by the next morning, the next Monday morning, we release the next spot.
Okay.
So this will be it. After 5 rounds, we'll get top 13, which is pretty much based on the Marquesa tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
The first one gets to go to the final directly, and the other 12 players play semifinals.
Okay.
And when we get to the semifinals and finals, we'll get to the first player to win 2 games wins the match. So in the Swiss rounds, it's just 1 game. Yeah.
And then are you guys streaming any of these or uploading the videos or anything like that?
Yeah, we are streaming. We are not uploading the videos to YouTube, but we are streaming.
Okay.
There are many games. So as this is a partnership between cEDH Brasil and Markovis, he's streaming on his Twitch channel some games, and we will stream other games as well. So pretty much every day except Sunday, we'll get games streamed.
Okay. And I will put links to those streams in the show notes of this for anybody who's interested.
It's usually starting on Markovis. It's starting like 6 p.m. Eastern, I believe.
Okay.
And on cEDH Brasil, we'll start on 8 p.m. Eastern on Friday, and we'll also stream on Saturday as well.
Nice. That's cool, man.
Pretty good. I'm glad that a lot more tournaments is coming about. I know like 3 years ago there was just Time Twisted, and then Marchesa came in, but I like that people, at least content creators like yourself, are dipping their toes in organized play. Because I think a lot of the community wanted that. I mean, at the end, I think we like to play the casual matches because that's why we came to EDH for the social contract. But I think for some people, they also like the competition for like leagues and tournaments, and that wasn't around 2 to 3 years ago. But I think since the last 2 years, there have been 10, 20 plus tournaments going around. So I'm glad you're doing that.
Yeah, and people are more comfortable about playing online right now, right? We got Spell Table, which is a thing we didn't have like 2-3 years ago.
Right.
The pandemics also contributed to the increasing of online gameplay. Unfortunately or fortunately, I don't know. But and people are comfortable. People are getting used to Spell Table, and maybe this will still continue as a trend after pandemic is done.
Yeah,
I think so.
I think so.
I hope so.
At least in some capacity, because like at the end of the day, like I don't know about you guys, but one of the reasons why I personally went online originally was just because I was always having a hard time. Like I got buddies that I play with locally, but like I maybe get together with them like once a month, if that. You know,
right? Because everybody's busy schedule, and
yeah,
whenever you have time, you can just jump online and get a game.
right?
But no, that's pretty awesome.
Cool.
That is
all right.
awesome.
So I mean that's great that there's that kind of turnout and stuff. So besides that, we actually wanted to get a little bit of Sean's got some questions that we posted in the chat. About just kind of your background a little bit, and we've been wanting to we started this with his name was Elemental Whisperer, and we caught him when he was like 30 days in, but we also kind of have been wanting to just kind of go through a similar process with people that are a little more established and kind of get it from the other end, part of it obviously it's not super heavy scripted or anything, just to kind of move the, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah, so
let's do it.
All right, so this segment is called "How did you get into cEDH?" and why did you get into cEDH? So we're just gonna ask a few questions, and so
yeah, sure.
All right, so Deco, what got you into cEDH?
Okay, so
let's start from the beginning. How did you get into Magic?
Yeah, so basically, I started dating my now fiance, and I was really into buying comic books, and there was a game store near her aunt's house where she spent most of her time during that time, and I entered into this game house to buy comic books. There were a lot of folks playing Magic, and I knew about Magic. I always seen Magic products on stores and stuff, and I was very interested in start playing Magic, start collecting cards. I didn't know what it was about. I had like a brief idea, but I've never played a lot. I think I played once when I was a child, but after that I never got to play it again. And I saw these people all reunited playing Magic, and this got my interest. Few months after that, my company actually organized a Magic tournament. It was a draft set for the employees. It's a very huge company here in Brazil, so they have like this diversity and well-being of the employees events, and this was one of their events for like the geek employees. And I was interested in joining, but I didn't manage to get like the correct dates and times to participate. But the idea of playing Magic was like around, and one day finally I went to a game store. It was not a Magic store, but it was like more like a GameStop kind of thing.
Okay.
And they had like these event decks from Taros and from Journey into Nyx.
Okay.
So it was like 7 years ago, more or less.
Yeah, that was a bit ago.
And I decided to buy 2 of them to play with my brother. My brother is 7 years younger than me. And I just wanted to have fun with him. And I bought 2 of them, started playing. And I went back to the local game store. And they were like, hey, if you really want to start playing Magic, you should start playing Commander. Everybody here is playing Commander. And I got more info about it and decided to build my first commander deck. I think I bought like lots of the pre-con commanders at the time.
Yeah.
And we started building commanders. Actually, my first commander was not a pre-con. Building Kalia at the time. But my first command, I didn't have enough money to buy the cards because I had like the owner of the game store is a really good friend of mine, and he's actually one of the persons behind the two of the tournament that I mentioned.
Okay.
And he was like giving me really good advice. Hey, you should buy a Dark Confidant if it's in your budget. You should buy like the Shocklands if it's in your budget. He was really giving me some good advices.
Nice.
And
that's a lot.
I didn't have money. Yeah, I didn't have money at the time. Yeah, I didn't have money at the time. So I decided to build a budget Bruna deck, which was my first EDH deck. And actually, my first EDH game, I actually won the game because everybody it was like 6-player game, and everybody kept aiming at each other. Yeah. And at the end, it was like me and this other guy, and I had a bunch of counter spells in my hand. So I countered him like 2 and 3 times in a row, and he was like, "Okay, I give up. You won."
Just by concession, like a typical Azorius player.
Yeah. So from that, pretty much in a year, I was playing like good casual EDH games. I had like good casual EDH decks. One of my favorites was Rashmi. I had like this really powerful Rashmi for casual, of course.
Yeah.
It was like based on Sigmar Muse, based on having Sigmar Muse plus flash effects, plus like Feline or Vidal Kenori.
It was good value, Town.
Yeah. I mean, let's be honest. Isn't all our Ashme decks really casual?
I didn't know at the time, but I think it was like probably a budget CEDH.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I decided to buy my first Force of Will. I decided to buy all the powerful cards. And when I saw it, I was like improving all of my decks. Then I decided to build a Leopold deck, which when I received my last card for the deck through mail, it was the day it got banned.
Sean's a big Leopold lover.
I'm a big Leo fan.
I love Leo.
So
man. But after that, when I really got into CEDH and seeing CEDH for the first time, I don't know if you guys recall it. There was a deck by Dan Monahan from the Lab Maniacs, which was the Doontide. Thrasios Timna, Doomsday, High Tide deck. There was a premiere on the MTG Salvation, I suppose.
Yep. I remember that.
And I remember reading this article and like, hey, this is good stuff. And I brought this deck to my play group, and I completely crushed them. And they were all like, hey, I need to improve my deck. And
then the arms race started. Yeah.
Yeah, and from this, before that, there was one guy, it's Velvet on the Zur server.
Mm-hmm.
He was like the new guy on the group, and he had like this powerful Zur. It was not CDH as well. It was like a high tier casual.
Yeah.
And he completely crushed my Rashmi deck, so I built the Doontide to beat him. And there was another deck that was very powerful, was a Gitrog deck. It was like around the same time, and I built this deck to beat these guys, and we started the arms race from there. Yeah.
That is awesome story. I love it. So so the next question, when you got into Magic EDH, what were some of the first resources you went to?
Yeah, so basically, as I said, EDH Rec at the beginning a lot. I think EDH Rec is a very good resource for casual EDH players.
It is.
And
resource for everybody,
for everybody, really, yeah. And then I saw this article from them. After that, it was about the time they started doing YouTube videos, the Lab Maniacs.
Oh.
So pretty much the Lab Maniacs.
Yeah.
And right after that, Team Turn 3, which was like one of the first guys out there.
Yeah.
Pongo was one of the first guys out there.
Yeah.
And then playing with Power and Spike Feeders after that.
Yeah.
So yeah, so this was, and then we got like, there was this old, now outdated cEDH tier list, which was another resource that we used a lot to base our decks, the tier list.
Mm-hmm.
And
notice that deck list attached to them too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it was pretty much this. I got like, there's this huge cEDH group in the Facebook. There's a huge cEDH group on the Facebook as well, which was where I got some resources.
Okay.
But pretty much this one. And then after some time, I was not like very into Discord, but after I found out Discord, I started getting into the servers and discussing with the players.
Yeah.
And so on and so forth. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, no, cool. I think anybody who's trying to get into Magic, I think EDH Rec is a good start because it shows you what's common in most deck and how you should build your deck, and then you can try to do your own spicy thing from there on. So I think we can safely say that you are one of the pillars in cEDH. I think we can agree with that, especially in your area in Brazil.
Thank you.
What would you say to someone who wants to take that first initial step into cEDH? Like, what resources? Where would you tell them? What would you tell them to do to carry them into cEDH?
Great. So, actually, the answer to this question is pretty much related to why I decided to start the cEDH Brasil with our guys. Pretty much, we didn't have any content in Portuguese. So, if this is a new player that speaks only Portuguese, of course, I would recommend watching cEDH Brasil because there aren't any other content. It's for real, guys. I mean, there aren't any other cEDH content out there. So we were like the first cEDH Brasil, cEDH content creator here in Brazil. And actually people here in Brazil, they had all those misconceptions about cEDH, which we are taking care of. We are like talking to the community, and we are like getting together with other content creators for casual EDH, for casual Magic. And they are very receptive with me. We did like lots of videos talking about how cEDH is not like book stomping, how cEDH is a very fun format, in fact. So for a person that is Brazilian and does not speak English, this is what I recommend, watching cEDH Brasil. And I recommend if any of you watching wants to start a cEDH channel here in Brazil, go ahead, do it. We need more people like being the voices of cEDH in Brazil, not only us.
Your guys' Discord is always popping.
Always.
I had to mute that thing. It was so busy. Well, especially since I don't know Portuguese. But
it makes sense.
And that's not even counting, because isn't WhatsApp a big thing in Brazil?
Yeah. So basically, the Discord, you say it's always popping, but people like use it, but not as much as like the Americans, the gringos.
The gringos. Those gringos.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah. And for those who are watching, gringo is not an offensive word. It's like, at least in Brazil, we don't say it in an offensive way. It's a very like...
Either way, I'm saying you get a pass. Either way, because I think it's hilarious for me. And I am the quintessential gringo, so...
Yeah, but here in Brazil, the most used communication app is WhatsApp. So we have like these huge groups in WhatsApp. I'm part of 40, 50 groups of Magic the Gathering on WhatsApp.
Now, is there any way, in case somebody does happen to stumble across this, to get in touch with you guys via WhatsApp. Because I know that's not a big thing here. That Discord is pretty much the big thing for us.
Yeah.
For us Americans and such. But...
So basically, we don't share the WhatsApp group. We have like one group that's open for anyone. We have one group that is for our subs and Patreons and stuff like this. It's more of our exclusive group. And this week, we created a group for Spell Table Games Organization. Because Brazilians, most of them, they don't like using Discord. I don't know why. And it's a culture thing, I suppose. WhatsApp, everybody's like really tuned into WhatsApp. And we created a group to organizing games for Spell Table. And this is pretty much it. But we don't like put this information in our social media because first, groups are limited. WhatsApp has this limited, and Telegram doesn't. But people don't like using Telegram. They love WhatsApp. I don't know why. It's a culture thing, as I mentioned.
So there really isn't like a direct like point person or a way to directly just like you know how like you can post a Discord invite and then everybody can just join.
They don't put it on the social.
We have on our Twitter, we have our link tree. And on our link tree, you have the Discord for cEDH Brasil, which is where you can contact us. You can also DM us on Twitter. You can message us on Facebook. You can message us on Instagram. And if anyone wants to get into our WhatsApp group, just let us know.
So and contact you via that method.
Okay.
That's kind of, I mean, because as we're kind of like a new player focused area, a lot of what we do is get those resources out. Get them so they're at least referenceable somewhere, you know.
So for the people out there, if you want to get into your Portuguese or the Brazilian league, you just go join cEDH Brazil, and you'll get your contact.
And actually, just to complete my answer to your question, if someone already knows English or have easy access to Discords or can read in English, can speak English, I recommend first all the content creators on YouTube. They are like pretty much awesome. We have all the ones that I mentioned before, but we also have Play to Win. We also have like cEDH Nexus. We have like a bunch of people creating very good content. And after that, I mentioned already the cEDH Facebook group. But the Discord servers are the best way for you to get resources for cEDH, and you can go and join the Discord for your favorite commander. You can go and join a Discord specifically for cEDH to organize games, as in the cEDH Nexus, as in the competitive EDH Discord.
In fact, on the Budget Brews website, we have resources here. One of them is to the Commander's Library. One of them is to the deck database, to the subreddit, to a couple of different webcam play discords that are various power levels.
Especially those that doesn't charge us to play.
Yes. Yeah.
We're taking a shot there, I see.
That I see the shot, yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
If you guys want to cut it later, sorry.
It's a justified shot. We will not name names, we'll shoot the shot.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I just have a different take on it. That's all. But again, we are diversifying what we are leading people to based on that. Like, you know.
Yeah. So also, okay, all right. So the next question I have for you is also because you've been in this community for a while. You also see the drama that sometimes happens between players. What would you tell those players or the community to try to avoid those type of behavior so you don't push the new player away?
Yeah, so first of all, there are lots of gatekeepers, which completely sucks, because, we want cEDH to grow, right?
Right.
All of us want cEDH to grow.
Yeah.
We want more players participating on games, on the game store. We want more support from Wizards of the Coast, from everyone, in fact. And my goal in cEDH Brazil is to grow cEDH here in Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm like gatekeeping and saying, don't play this sucks, this is bad, hey, you should play this is better. I mean, I have my thoughts. I know what is good and what isn't. I know what I can recommend to someone, and I know what people should avoid. I know that. But this is not up to me to decide what someone wants to build. And if they say they want to build like a low tier commander, I'll be glad to help them to build the best optimized deck, the best optimized list for that commander. Even if I don't agree, that's a good option to play that commander. So first of all, gatekeepers is a terrible thing for cEDH.
Okay.
And another thing that, and this is related not only to commander's choice, but also to cards. We all know what is optimized. We all know like what are the staples, but let's like give people some space to test things and find out different things. I mean, every now and then we get to know this sweet new tech that we didn't know of, and we just knew because someone tested it, and before this person tested it, someone probably said, hey, this is bad, don't do it. So yeah, it's pretty much like this. And also another thing is try to be open to casual players, because the cEDH future is based on casual players, in my opinion.
Yeah,
we need them to get interested in cEDH for the format to grow. So, like, be open, be patient with them, and like help them in deck building, help them in testing decks and playing. Another thing that I think is very healthy for cEDH growth is the use of proxies. I believe like prices are going like up and up, and sometimes it's like very limiting for some people. So I have a friend, like, he cannot play, like he doesn't have like any cards because he doesn't want to spend money that it's important to him to like buy food or use the transportation or anything like that.
I mean,
so he doesn't also have cards. He just want to play. So we allow him to proxy everything and play with us. Of course, if there is a tournament, there is something else, hey, you will not be able to use the proxies on this tournament. Or maybe we can organize a tournament that proxies are allowed. So I don't know. But yeah, proxies, we are all for proxies.
Or even in a lot of those cases, like when I started like Modern and Legacy, if you're in a normal play, someone will loan you a deck so you can play that same deck.
Or people will pull cards to help you.
Yeah, to help
get what you need.
So as long as the community is good.
Exactly.
I think I agree with you for all of that. I think I take some of those. I'll definitely take from me some of that for me, because I can be a gatekeeper personally. So I totally agree.
I've been there as well. I've been there as well. Maybe there are recordings of me. I don't know if there are recordings of me saying things like this, but yeah, we make mistakes and we try to learn from them, and we like have bad behaviors and we try to get these behaviors better for the community. We have to think like in the others. In my opinion, I'm very selfish sometimes, and I'm very like selfish in the game. Like another thing that I want to discuss is like player behavior in the game. But yeah, I can talk about this later.
No. That's very important right now. Anything that you think people are just elitism is a tag that has been put on cEDH players a lot.
Yeah. Sometimes I get very frustrated on players' decisions on the game, and I tend to like get angry or get salty. Salty is better than
Salty
angry.
is better,
Not
yeah.
it's not angry, but salty and like saying bad stuff. And especially if it's like a player that doesn't have all that experience, doesn't have like all that playing time. I mean, this can be a pretty bad behavior, and I call myself out on this. I know that, hey, maybe this person shouldn't have counterspelled that card. He should have saved for later or stuff like this.
Yeah,
but,
yeah, well, and like
saltiness is one of my problems that I try to work on. And this is something that other players should also try to work on, because this is not healthy for the community, especially those who are recently to cEDH.
So, like with me personally, Deco, like when it comes to like behavior in game, a lot of it really has just to do with like intent. Like if somebody's like trying to learn and they're like making an earnest, honest attempt to improve, like I definitely am much more forgiving and lenient, and I definitely get much less emotional when it comes to misplays or anything like that. It's when players make those types of mistakes, and not only are they not interested in improving, they really just are like so convinced of their own ability when it's questionable at best.
Yeah. Some people are stubborn as well, right?
Yeah.
Very stubborn, yes.
Yeah. Like, and I'm not saying I don't make misplays and I'm like the best player ever. I'm talking like when it's a very egregious case. You know what I'm saying? Kind of the same thing.
I think we all can say that, but I think at the end of the day, we shouldn't, I think, for Americans, the term is dogpiling.
Yeah.
Dogpiling a new player is if they make that mistake versus try to get their views on why they made that play in the game or after the game, and then try to talk them through it. There's a lot of people. I know for the Nexus, for us, we can be known as gatekeepers because of our little 15-game rule. I think that's for learning the meta. But a lot of people come in saying that, I'm the best player at my LGS, right? And they come into that mentality and they're like, I know this, I know the interaction, I know Magic. Been playing Magic for 3 years, or 10 years, or whatever.
That's even a little bit different. I mean, that's a playgroup rule. That's not telling somebody that they can't play a deck. That is saying that's membership rules. Like that is different.
No, I'm just. It's still a form of gatekeeping, but
go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, so what I was saying is that we do that. So we just need to help people. Just try to talk to people through it and help them understand what they're doing wrong versus using our emotions to talk about that.
Yeah, I think I've been thinking a lot about this. For real, I really been thinking a lot about this, and I think we can sum up most of EDH and cEDH problems, not all of them, but most of them, by expectancy discrepancies. So I expect something and you expect another thing, and this discrepancy happens and we're both frustrated. This can happen in cEDH, as I was expecting you to interact there and you did another thing, and now I'm frustrated and you are frustrated because I'm frustrated. So this is what is pretty much why I get frustrated in the first place, because I have expectancy and some player didn't match my expectancy. So this is why I get frustrated. But this also happens in casual EDH a lot, especially with power levels. It happens so much more in casual EDH than in cEDH. Because like, hey, I'm playing a 7. What are you playing? I'm playing a 7 as well. And then like one of the decks is like really like a 5 and the others really like a 9. and and people like, hey, you comboed out. We weren't allowing infinite combos, and now you ruined our game. And like this kind of expectancy thing is it's a very interesting that I've been thinking about, and maybe I want to do some content about it, because I think the most important thing when you get to play with someone is to have like
realistic
most of your expectations aligned. Yes.
Yeah.
Clear communication is what I like.
Exactly.
Because like when I played before the pandemic, when we played at my LGS, it was a lot of people are like, yeah, my deck is a 7. I just like you said, when we're playing a game, and he was like, okay, here's my evolving wells and my tap lands, and we're like, but this is not a 7, good sir.
No.
No, like we have 6 mana on turn 3, and you have 2 tap lands in play,
Right.
and then you play the bounce land, and I'm like, no, this is we need to help you build this deck to where it is. But I totally agree. I think we need to educate a lot of the community on that. I totally agree.
Yeah, I spend a lot
and
of time.
on the other hand, like the power level scale is not like set in stone. You can play like a 6 against a 7. As long as all the people in the game have the same expectations, like, hey, we just want to have fun. We want to play like a medium to long game. We don't want it to end quickly. Or, hey, if you have the opportunity to win, go ahead and win. We're not getting frustrated. Oh, you can play stacks, or you can play land destruction. Oh, no, I'm not happy with land destruction. So as long as everybody's on the same page, even if the decks are different in power levels, they can always have fun.
I always when I go to a table, I'm like, when am I allowed to win? And they're like, turn 10. I'm like, okay, that's fine. You can play a nice long game of Magic. Turn 10.
And then on turn 10, flash book, GG.
There we go. Well, I am to win. And they're like, all right, I had fun. I'm like, good.
Good. Because you said 10 turns. I waited till 11.
Yeah. There we go.
I won on your 10th turn. Yeah, I mean, I do spend a lot of time like with a lot of my friends who play casual, and I used to do this a lot when I played casual Commander. Is I wound up being like always helping, since I'm like I was always the spikiest guy in my group. And that's kind of what actually led into the budget brew stuff, was that it was always like help me make my deck better, because even casual players want to win. Like they just there's various levels of hang-ups as to how that should happen, but they care. People care. I mean, you don't play Magic to just, you could go color, work on a puzzle, or play a co-op or something.
I think you've answered these questions very well, sir. You pretty much touched on every point that we wanted to touch on.
Okay. Awesome.
All right.
I can go ahead and talk for 2 hours more, 3 hours more.
That's fine.
Talking about this.
What we're gonna do is we'll wrap this up, and then we'll maybe do some questions.
Okay.
So Deco, for everybody listening at home, since they won't be listening to what we talk about afterwards in this video, just for time's sake, where can everybody find you again? And plug your stuff, please.
Okay, so we always stream on Tuesdays and Fridays at 8 p.m. Eastern, depending on the like daylight saving time. It's 7 p.m. Eastern, so like around this time.
Mm-hmm.
And so Tuesdays and Fridays at cEDH Brasil, twitch.tv cEDH Brasil.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure Timmy will post our links. We are on Twitter, we are on Instagram, we are on Facebook, but mostly Twitter and Instagram are our main social media.
Okay.
We also, this year, we kicked off our YouTube channel project.
Mm-hmm.
So we started with some gameplays that are not on Twitch. It's exclusive gameplays We are making some tier lists for staples. Like we had like the counterspell tier list, the was counterspell, the drawing in its tier list. So hey, which is a tier S? Ad nauseum. What else? Necropotence. And we have like this very, very, very good video about drawing in it.
Okay.
And the next one, which will be released this week, is about tutors. So we're making a tier list about tutors. We also have like some how to combo with like food chain with food chain. I think it's not released yet, but Underworld Bridge with Tassa's Oracle.
And these are in Portuguese for people who are native Portuguese.
Yeah,
speakers,
these are in Portuguese.
Nice.
Yeah, but also we started an interview section on our YouTube channel where we get to interview like some of the most famous Magic personalities out there.
Yeah,
we got to interview Josh Liquai, which was awesome. We got to interview the professor, which was awesome. Yeah. The professor even said that cEDH is the future of Commander, which was everybody was nuts about it. Yeah. And most recently, we got to interview Ashley Rose, which was pretty awesome. She's great as well. And that's it. That's pretty much about it.
If people want to play with you, is there an avenue that can potentially happen? Like, where do you normally frequent for gameplay?
Yeah. So right now we open one day in the month for our subs to play with us, and this is mostly the subs that are on our exclusive WhatsApp group. But we are doing now and then some Gringos Night where we open the space for our American friends, for our friends from all around the world. We had some people from Ecuador. I believe you played one of them, right, Timmy?
I did, yeah.
Yeah. It was pretty awesome. They were like very good. They were like doing everything that is expected from cEDH players. So it was pretty awesome.
A great game. I had a blast. I got to get a win in with squirrels. Like
they are very good. And what else? And we are now like you will see this pretty soon. We are organizing one event which is called the cEDH Brasil All Stars Invitational, which we will stream. And it's pretty much a team event like the Nexus Super League. We got inspired by you guys, but the Nexus Super League was pretty much awesome.
Yeah.
And we are inviting guests, and the cEDH Brasil members will be the team captains, and we will draft these guests into our teams.
Yep.
But there's a plot twist.
Okay.
The champion team will face themselves in a final game.
Yeah. Okay.
So
instead of
if we are in the same team, me, Timmy, you, if we are the best team, we will play one final game against each other. To see who is the true champion. It's pretty much it's pretty much a laid back exhibitional thing that we are working on.
Yeah.
We are reaching out for some names in the community, and if it works out well, we'll do this pretty often. So let's see if it's a good format. We'll keep it together.
Yeah. Freestyle magic. I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Hey Deco, do you got anything else you want to mention for us?
Yes. So one thing that I want to mention is that cEDH Brasil would not be here without the support from Timmy and from the cEDH Nexus. You guys are the best. You guys supported since the beginning with everything that we needed. I had lots of calls with Timmy to ask for advice, and he was very supportive. And this is something that cEDH Brasil will never forget. We owe you a lot, and we love you. We love everything that you are involved. We love all your crew, all your teammates, all the people involved in the cEDH Nexus, Jamaican, Richie, Scoots. You guys are all the best, and I love you guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, Deco. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
It means a lot. You guys are great. It's been so great watching you guys just grow and just, especially from like the first time we met.
Yeah, really? I know. I was just like a curious guy asking for some, hey, I'm thinking about start streaming, so can you help me? and now we are like doing stuff here in Brazil and
preview cards,
getting our own preview cards. I think this might be the first CDH channel to get this the preview card. I don't know.
That's awesome, man.
Has Playing with Power the Spike Feeders gotten one?
I don't quite remember. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't want to call it, but I have no idea.
You're definitely the first Brazilian CDH group to get a preview card.
We are the only Brazilian CDH group.
I was trying to narrow it to something that was definitive. But no, thanks again, man. You've always been a pleasure. So
thank you so much, Timmy.
You're very welcome. All right. Good night, guys.
All right.